All right, let's
Thank you,
bring
my
in
friend.
Marc Short, former chief of staff for VP Pence. All right, so he knows him very well. Ken Cuccinelli, founder of the Pro DeSantis Never Back Down PAC. And conservative commentator Scotty Hughes, supporting Donald Trump at this point in time. Yes, Scotty, you made a little bit of a face. Am I right? Come on, let's get it.
I'm supporting the winner who can actually beat Joe Biden and put the Republicans back in the Oval Office.
All right. So you know what? That was a nice little example of Scotty is a nice person, and she's always good to me. So she didn't want to jump on me for that. Not a Trump supporter. She's going to support whoever it is because she wants to beat Biden. Clarified. We move on. Mr. Short, what do you want people to know about the former VP that may clarify his cause tonight?
Well, Chris, I think that appreciate the intro. Appreciate you having me on, but I probably take issue with the way you portrayed it with Chris. I think that it's a pretty easy explanation for a lot of Americans who are really proud of the record of the Trump-Pence administration, proud of what was accomplished. I think the biggest difference is that in 2016, Donald Trump came to conservatives and said, if you nominate me, I'll govern as a conservative. Give me your list of 21 judges that I'll go forward with. Tell me the pro-life platform you want. Give me the pro-tax cut agenda that you want. That's not where he is today, Chris. I think ever since January 6th, and candidly the end of his administration, he shifted away from conservatives, whether or not that's on fiscal responsibility and saying ignore $34 trillion in debt, or blaming the pro-life movement for the losses in 2022. Mike Pence has always been a consistent conservative. That's who he is, and that's who he'll be again tonight. And I think that that'll come through with the NewsNation audience in the town hall. Ken Cuccinelli, do you believe that Pence can make a compelling case that he has been steady and steadfast to what matters most, even by Trump's side?
I'm not sure I'd put all those pieces together. I do agree with what Marc just said. Pence has been a conservative his whole public life, but he's not the only one in the race. Obviously, I'm supporting Governor DeSantis. And if you compare the governorship of Pence and people put their own weight on his role as vice president. Obviously, January 6th was unique, but there's no conservative lane because the best accomplished chief executive conservative is DeSantis. It's why I'm there. And so it doesn't leave much room. As you were saying earlier, Chris, there's no lane here. And I like and respect Vice President Pence. Obviously, I just acknowledge what Marc said. He's been a consistent conservative, but he's not the most accomplished conservative in this race, and he doesn't have the best chance to win the nomination or beat Joe Biden. That's with DeSantis. So hopefully we'll end up with Scotty's support at the end of this. But I do appreciate what Vice President Pence always has to say. He's always worth listening to. So, I think it's a credit to you all to have him here on kind of on a TV pedestal like you all offer.
Well, I'll tell you what, I think it's a gift to Mike Pence what NewsNation is doing for him, especially with what we understand about the composition of our audience. And Scotty, on one level, you and I may have discussed this before, he has the most yet to be understood about him. People have so many questions about Mike Pence and what was going through his mind and his head and his heart as he had to stand by so much of what he says he rejects to his core. And on paper, he really could be the best chance for knitting together what you guys want to be at your best and what you had to deal with at your worst.
Well, with all due respect, especially to my colleagues that are on this panel today, the only chance that Mike Pence is going to see any sort of bump in his popularity is if he goes on this amazing opportunity of a platform tonight and says, I withdraw from the race because I believe in putting our country above my party. And I believe in actually, here are the principles that I believe in, and I want to unite the Republican Party. Sort of what Mitt Romney's doing, but actually make it legit. The realistic for Mike Pence, for people to be confused about Mike Pence, that speaks volumes. If he's been a consistent conservative, there should be no confusion. Why people are confused? Because in 2016, he was the Pepto-Bismol to the Trump ticket. He was going to calm down all of those Ted Cruz supporters, get them on board. And now in 2024, he's the establishment candidate. That shows where the confusion is. How could you be someone that did have a solid conservative track record going into 2016. But in 2024, you're seeing him as a moderate establishment neocon. That's the confusion. I think that's why you're seeing such low poll numbers for former Vice President Mike Pence.
Hey, thank you for watching. Please go to newsnationnow.com, newsnationnow.com, and you can find News Nation on your television provider. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button down below. Then you will get more of News Nation's fact-driven coverage.